Hey guys, so today I'm going to be giving you an in-depth chamber guide. A few of you have wanted this for quite a while, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So chamber is a sentinel, but he really plays more like a duelist most of the time, or at least you should be playing him like a duelist given his abilities and his kit, which I'll talk about more here in a second. But the first tip that I have for you guys is take advantage of chamber sheriff, right? So chamber sheriff is significantly stronger than the normal sheriff. The first reason why is because whenever you pull out chamber sheriff, you pull it out significantly faster. So I'm gonna actually show you here. So you can see I'm shooting much quicker with chamber sheriff here whenever I pull it out. So this is really good because if you say run out of ammo on your primary weapon, you're gonna be much quicker in doing it with chamber sheriff. Another advantage of chamber sheriff is that you have this zoom. It's identical to the guardian zoom, which is very nice because it gives you kind of like a guardian-like range to fight with, and that can be very powerful for a pistol that you have always. That you always have access to on every round, even on pistol round. The final big difference between chamber sheriff and the normal sheriff is that there is no fall-off range for headshot damage, meaning meaning chamber sheriff will do 150 plus to the head at any range unless you hit them through like a wall or something. So for the normal sheriff, you do 145 past 50 meters. Or no, past between 30 and 50 meters, so you have to keep that in mind. And whereas chamber sheriff is just built different, so keep that in mind. I would suggest buying ammo for chamber sheriff on pistol round frequently. Like, try to rely on it as much as you can, try to get better at it. But next tip is use TP to take aggressive fights with any gun. So really the most important part here is before the round starts, you want to be thinking, okay, where do I want to TP to after I'm done taking an aggressive fight, right? So do I want to TP to heaven? Do I want to TP to back gen? Do I want to TP into here? Do I want to TP over here? Like, you really need to be thinking, right? So let's say, for example, I choose to TP heaven because the enemy's just been pushing really fast. Maybe I don't want to put the TP there. Maybe I'll put it somewhere else in heaven. But then you're going to put a TP like this. And this, my friends, is why I say chamber really plays like Reyna and Jett. So this ability is very similar to Jett dash and Reyna dismiss. So for that reason, you can just play very aggressive like this. It is actually a little bit slower than Jett dash and Reyna dismiss. As of currently, Jett is actually about to get a dash nerf, but right now, chamber's TP is quite similar to these. So one thing though is whenever you snap your finger like that and you TP, there's a split second where you can actually get shot. So like you can get shot mid animation, so you have to be a little bit careful whenever you're going for these plays. Try to be a little bit less predictable, because if the enemy knows exactly where you are, you can get killed mid animation. And I know that I've done that to enemy chambers because I'll see the animation, but I can still kill them like mid animation. So you have to keep that in mind for sure. Next tip is use trips in 2 different areas to guard multiple areas around the map, mainly on pre-round defense. So for example, if I want to trip here, I probably don't want to trip right here because this is pretty much covering everything I need. A better place would be either right here or over here. These are both really good spots. If you want to be peeking a main, probably just throw this right here at the start of the round. This is going to cover your cap pretty well. And yeah, so for example, if we're playing B, we might want to, trip mid before the round starts, like right here. This is a really strong place for a trip. And then you could put another one just like right here or, somewhere here. And, now you're guarding 2 areas instead of just guarding 1. So make sure you're doing that because I know that a lot of chambers I've actually coached don't do this. So keep that in mind. So on attack, whenever we're using trips, if we're just defaulting, meaning our team is kind of passive and we aren't really full pushing or we just aren't good at full pushing, you're going to want to put 2 trips in different areas as well. So one like this. And then over here toward A, the best spot is normally going to be like around this area or right here. So I'm not going to put this one because now I'm going to explain what you want to do if your team is going to full push a site. Usually you want to use 1 trip and then save another. So if your team, let's say we're going to full push A and I still have 2 trips, I'll put 1 trip like right here. And then I'm going to save 1 trip. After we take site, I'll either use it like this. I'll put it right here and then swing off of it because I know the enemy is probably going to shoot it. Or I might put it down here below heaven so that, whenever the enemies jump down, we can kind of peek off of it, because really the enemy might not be expecting this, to be honest. It's a pretty strong spot. You can even put it like right here or something to peek off of. But pretty much if you're full pushing a site, make sure that you save 1 trip because you don't really need to use 2 on flank. So the next tip is understand how strong chamber's op is. So again, Chamber's op is actually stronger than the normal op in a few different ways, just like the Sheriff. So mainly the pullout time is much quicker for the op, as you can see here. I can shoot much quicker with Chamber Sheriff after pulling it out, and also you can just shoot much more quickly with Chamber off. So I'm gonna shoot 3 bullets here and just show you how much quicker I can shoot with Chambers off. So basically what this means is you can kill enemies much quicker. Like you can take fights like crazy with this op, and it's very deadly in the right hands. Like with someone that has accurate shots and is used to opping, this gun is probably the best gun in the game, honestly, even better than just the normal op. So the one downside of this gun, well, it's actually kind of a plus and a negative. So the one downside, you can actually zoom as well, by the way. The one downside is that whenever you kill an enemy, you actually create a big slow field. So this is nice at longer ranges, but whenever you're close, say we're holding a really tight angle, and we kill someone like right here, this is actually going to slow us. So if we want to keep pushing forward into it, we can't really do that because we're just going to be slowed and it's going to be harder to do so. So that is one thing to consider whenever you're opping. But the 5th and final tip that I have for you guys is, remember, Chamber is technically a sentinel, right? So like I said at the very beginning, you should use these first 4 tips that I've given you to kind of play Chamber more aggressively, especially with a TP, just because, again, that is really like a random dismiss or a jett dash. But remember that he's a sentinel. You have these abilities for a reason. You don't want to just be dying and making them deactivate like before your team can get a chance to do anything. And also, if you have 2 duelists that are being quite aggressive, you don't need to be playing super aggressive all the time. Like, you can go for the occasional peek with your TP, or with your op especially, but you don't need to be running it down and playing like a duelist always, because remember that you do have abilities that are gonna allow you to anchor sight better than most duelists. So that is why you're really considered a sentinel, even though you kind of play like a duelist. So just remember that. Keep in mind your place. Your playstyle is gonna slightly differ depending on what kind of teammates you have. Like, are they aggressive, are they passive? Because if your teammates are all passive, you're probably gonna want to adopt more of a duelist like playstyle and a little bit more aggressive, even if it means sacrificing your trips for like 2 kills or something. Because if your team's really passive, more than likely they won't be getting too many kills, unless they're just really good at playing time or something. But anyways, guys, if you found this helpful, leave me a comment below. Let me know if you guys want any other agent guides. I'll do them in the future for sure. And subscribe. Peace.